Okay, it's a very quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So for today's video, how much does it really cost to live in the UK right now? So they do say, and by they I mean the media, that inflation is down. However, I can tell you that the wallet still feels very empty. So in this video, I'm hoping that I can break down the real unavoidable costs facing average people, me, you, everybody else, in 2025 Britain. So not the government's version, but the truth. I basically just want to compare income versus cost of living and show just how absolutely impossible things have become. So let's get into it. So the first and most obvious one is rents. We know that the UK average outside of London rent is basically £1,276 a month. In London, it's a lot more. In London, the average is about 2,140 or thereabouts. So that's a 2025 so far average rent increase of 7.2% up on last year. Then you've got things like food, you've got groceries. Now, the average household, their spend is about £69 per week per person. So that's an average that's taken over not just a visit to the supermarket, it's taken out of also if you're going out to Costa, you're buying that coffee maybe, or you're going to Greg's and you're getting a sausage roll. This is just grocery costs. But supermarket inflation is still around 8 to 9%, even on essentials. And it's a lot more on some other items, even up as far as 30% on things like meat, eggs, and so on. You've got basically the trade down effect from this, where more people are now buying supermarket owned brands over the bigger sort of named labels, if you like, which is obviously great for the supermarkets. Their profits are soaring. Fantastic. Just what they want. You've got utilities. Now, obviously, there is an energy cap, which is at the moment is about 1,700 or just less than 1,700 a year. I know that mine is around 2,800, which is quite frankly mental. Standing charges, though, they've risen faster than the unit costs. And again, this is a grab from the companies to just make as much money as they can, and they don't care if they hurt people. You've got things like broadband and phone bills that are now up. In fact, contract phone bills now average £35 a month. Imagine that. And now, obviously, into that, you have got the cost of the new phone, but very often, once you've had the phone for 2 years or 3 years, whatever the length of your term is, you've paid for the phone perhaps again, and also you've overpaid for the minutes and the megabytes that you've used. Now, obviously, an easy way around this is to switch to something like SIM only and not be so dependent on having the latest tech. But if your apps stop working, or your phone's ecosystem means that apps no longer work on that OS that you've got, very often you've got a little choice but to upgrade your phone if you want to be able to still continue to use your apps. It is more of a problem on Apple than it is Android, but it is still a problem. And then to go along with that, you've also got things like transport costs, train fares, bus fares. They're all up about 5 or 6% as recently as March 2025. Petrol and diesel obviously fluctuates on the daily, but these companies that vend fuels, supermarkets, service stations, the prices always go up towards the weekend. They always go up towards the bank holidays regardless. And they are generally still around £1.50 a litre. Council tax is a ridiculous one. I'm in a band D. So band D for my area is about 2,400 a year, which is up I think it's 4.9 or 4.8% on last year. My bin collections are seldom, shall we say, and other local services are terrible. In terms of road repair and such, and police presence and everything else. The only people that really I guess, or the only businesses or entities that seem to be unaffected by council tax increases and then them squandering the money on useless proxy wars literally is the fire service. And the fire service, they are absolute heroes. And they still have a presence. They're still there. There's no 2 hour wait for a fire for a fire, truck, if you call one. They're there straight away, which the same can't be said for emergency services like ambulances and police, where often waits are a lot longer. And with police, it's if they turn up at all. So that's a mental one, quite frankly. You've got childcare and nursery costs that have gone up. The average cost for full-time nursery is around £1,500 a month. Places like inner cities, London, Manchester, Birmingham, it's actually a lot more. So the total baseline costs, this is baseline with no luxury, just to exist. For a single person, you're looking at around £1,800 to £2,100 a month. For a family of 4, brace yourself, 3,200 if you're economical. However, typically it's around 3,800 or more a month. So basically, if you've got 2 people that are on the national minimum wage, working full-time, they can just, and I mean just, support a family of 4, and that's without the ability to run a vehicle. So that's not assuming that they have a car, that they pay for fuel, they pay for insurance, they pay for upkeep, and the car itself. So that's baseline, no luxuries, and using public transport. Mental. What are your thoughts on this? How much does your life cost a month? I know that mine is a lot more than £2,100. Even though I've got a partner, if we were to split our costs out 50-50, we'd both be spending a lot more than £2,100 to live. I am working on bringing it down myself, of course. Absolutely, that's the whole point, is trying to save money where I can, trying to increase income where I can. But let me know your thoughts. How's this working for you? How do you cope? There'll be another video tomorrow. YouTube's going to put another video up there. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. And yeah, Goldman. Peace out.